Hello YouTube, One of the X-Ram here. Today I'm going to go over my Ducati Speed Evo carbon fiber helmet by X-Lite. I'm going to compare it to my 1100 RF Shoei that I have had for about 4 or 5 years now. So the Shoei that I have here is an older model. It is heavy, it's got a lot of wind noise to it, but you know, I've had it for so long that it's just so soft and fits my head perfectly, and I love everything about it. And I can mount my GoPro, the Senna 30K that I have on it, and kind of use it as my group riding helmet, if you will. This helmet I'm going to set aside now and go over what I like so much about this X-Lite helmet that I have here. When I first picked it up, I realized how incredibly light this thing is and how much lighter it is than the Shoei. I mean, it's a good, almost, it feels a good pound or so lighter, and I don't know the exact numbers. You guys can find that information. But so far I've lived with it for a few months and kind of got the fit right on my head. When you first get it, it is very, very snug, and it takes a little bit to get used to. I mean, helmets are supposed to be snug in the first place. This one felt almost overly snug, but not at the point where it gave me a headache or anything like that. It doesn't squeeze your temples or anything. So if you fit a helmet, you don't want it to squeeze too much on this spot to actually give you a headache. Then that's when you know you kind of got either the wrong shape or the wrong size. As you notice, I did put a mount on here, but I don't think I'm ever going to put my GoPro on my helmet. I tested out to kind of find how it fit, and I didn't really like the weight distribution of it, because when it sat there, you notice it was there. So now I've been experimenting with different camera angles on my bike, which is why most of my recent videos have been bike only shots as opposed to on the helmet and on the bike. I just like this helmet the way it is without anything on it. You won't be able to put a 30K on it, at least I don't think I will, because there's just no real room, and I really don't want to scratch up the carbon and everything else that's on this helmet. I feel like this helmet is definitely focused more for solo riding and track riding. What's really cool about it is the noise that you get inside the helmet is different than the RF. The RF had a lot of wind noise and some whistling. This, even with the vents open, really not that much wind noise. What I found interesting was the wind noise wasn't there, but yet you could hear the bike very clearly, and it was muffled a little bit. So with both my Ducatis, there's a resonance to it where it actually kind of rings your ears a little bit. In this helmet, that isn't as pronounced or as bad. Also, I've been riding in the winter time. Of course, winter in Arizona isn't exactly freezing. We've had a few cold days, but this seems to keep my head warmer even with, you know, the vents closed. Unlike my Shoei, that one seems a little cooler. It lets a lot more air flow through the front of the face, whereas this one, with this little bridge here, I'll take the camera in. There's a little bridge here. You can see this little guy. This is fixed. And then you got the under chin, which actually blocks the air from going on your neck a little bit, which in cold weather, you ever had your neck freeze? It's not that much fun. But it seems really basic, you know. It's got a few vents here, and then it's got a few vents right here, and these two little pop-ups, and it flows as much as you need it to. Now on the back here, you got this cool little spoiler. It's supposed to help with, I guess, increasing or decreasing drag. I don't know that I've really honestly noticed any difference between it while riding. Hey man, it's what they say they do. We'll just say that's what it does. But as you can see, this is a full carbon helmet, and for the price, I think it's an awesome helmet. I believe this thing retails for around $650. I mean, I could be wrong. A lot of different sites have it for different prices, so I really don't want to get too far into that. As you can see, the opening is rather narrow, and the lining is just really soft, but almost feels like suede. It's moisture wicking. Your head stays dry and cool when you actually do get hot and sweaty. The visor itself, it took a little to get used to because the RF 1100 has the tab right here, so that's tricky because I'm feeling for it on this side when it's actually dead center, which I kind of almost like a little bit better having it in the center. Once you get used to it, you kind of feel for it. Then when you switch helmets, you got to find it again, which is kind of silly. But I feel like the peripheral on this helmet is better than this one. Even though they look to be similar, I feel like I have a lot better peripheral vision in this helmet. I can look to my side and clearly see and not have any padding or helmet kind of blocking that view. Your vision out of this helmet seems to be a good bit better than this one. Even though, as you look at them, they look very similar. Like I said, the feel of them is greatly different. Having two sport bikes, you're wrenching your neck up. With a helmet that's got weight like this one does, it kind of strains your neck a good bit, whereas this one, because of how light it is and the way that the air flows over it, you almost have a little bit of help from the air keeping your head up, kind of reducing the stress you have on your neck. Because I would do long rides and I'd feel it in my trap. The next day, I'd want to lay like this because of how much soreness that I had in my neck with this helmet, the RF 1100. This bad boy, I've ridden for hours and really had no fatigue in my neck or shoulder areas. That alone makes this helmet awesome. The other feature that I got to point out here is this has emergency pulls, which most people take these stickers off. I don't want to, because if you get an EMT, you have a problem, they're going to destroy your helmet to take it off. But if you leave these on here, it kind of hopefully gives them another little cue, like, oh, okay, I can pull these tabs and slip the helmet off without destroying the helmet. Obviously, if you hit your head and your helmet drags on something, then it's going to be useless. Should that not happen, these little stickers are going to keep the EMTs, hopefully, from destroying this nice helmet. Again, this is my little review of this helmet here, and I hope you all enjoy it. It's probably not the most exciting, but hey, it's what I do. Y'all have a good